All right, what's good, YouTube? So, I spent the night wearing a CK1 shock, and I got a little bit further impressions on it. So last night I did my first impression review on it, and I thought it smelled like a chocolate Swisher Sweet. And I'm not gonna rescind that. I'm gonna still say it smells like a chocolate Swisher Sweet, but it actually kind of really dries down. The dry down takes a long time for some reason on this one. And I will say that the dry down, it kind of morphs into something else almost entirely. Like in the beginning, it's like just super chocolate, right? It's like burnt chocolate with a little bit of tobacco in the beginning, which really reminds me of Ferragamo Uomo and Uomo Signature. But then it dries down in the mid notes. It comes in. It comes at this almost like neon Mountain Dew green pop kind of, and I think they call it a energy drink accord. But to me, it's more like sweet pop, like soda pop, and that comes out, and that actually kind of projects a little bit on the mid. But the dry down is this is a weird one because this is like one of the longest dry downs I've ever experienced. It was like 3 hours, and then it was kind of developed into its own, little dry down or whatever. And when it did, I mean, I'm definitely not gonna say that it didn't smell like a chocolate Swisher Sweet throughout. It did. It's just that this is a strange one because I've never really experienced a cologne that's done this, but it really transformed from the beginning to the dry down. Like it went through these solid 3 stages, and it was like the longest 3 stages I've ever experienced in any cologne. Usually the opening will be like 10 minutes at the most, and then the mid will be like 5 minutes. Usually the mid is like the weakest out of all the stages. And then it dries down into the base notes, and then that's usually what it is, and then it slowly fades off. This one was like beginning, top notes, like an hour, and then I shouldn't say an hour, maybe like 25-30 minutes was the top notes, which is a long time for the beginning, the opening of a cologne. And then the mid notes hit, and I had this real strong energy drink accord, and like I said, it was a tobacco, it was a chocolate tobacco throughout the whole thing. But the mid notes, there was this energy drink accord in it, and it reminded me of Mountain Dew, like Sprite mixed with Mountain Dew, but like really neon, and like it actually projected. I was like, wow, for a little bit, and then and that was probably 15-20 minutes, which for a mid is pretty long. Like I said, mids usually only last like 5 or 10 minutes. This one was maybe 15, 20, 25 minutes mid, and then it settled into what it was going to be, and it doesn't project. I mean, I said it last night, it doesn't project, but I will say this clone does have longevity. For some reason, like there's no sillage, there's no projection after about the first hour and a half. It's whatever's there is gone. It stays close to your body, and it kind of reminds you of a body spray, almost like a youthful body spray. It's really not like a cologne. It really doesn't have a cologne feel. It has more of a body spray feel, but like a really good quality body spray, if that makes sense. So this would be like a perfect gym scent. This would be a perfect scent to just wear casual, or if you're just hanging out or doing whatever. And then the dry down, it gets real smoky, almost a damp kind of tobacco, and it's cheap. It's like a Swisher Sweet tobacco, but it's like a nice chocolate Swisher Sweet tobacco. So this is, I can't say it's like so tobacco where it's almost like Bentley Intense or something, where it's just like a straight up nasty ass cigar. No, this is like a nice sweet, and it's like I said, it's the next day. I can still smell it on my shirt. Nice sweet, kind of chocolatey dark tobacco. And I think that if you're gonna like be casual, if you just want something different, like chill with a girlfriend or whatever, you throw this on. You're gonna smell good. She's gonna be impressed. She's gonna like you. She's gonna want to snuggle up to you, I think. But it's not a grown man scent. It's a youthful scent. This would be a perfect gift to give to like a younger brother who's like 15, 16. For ages like 15 to 20, this is like the perfect scent. Like get this instead of like, Nautica Voyage or something. I mean, yeah, Nautica Voyage is a totally different type of scent. It's a freshie. This one's totally different, but I'm just saying like this is like a much more attractive, cool cologne than something like a Nautica Voyage or, whatever, Versace Eros or something. I mean, those are quality colognes, but they're freshies. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like, this is a younger man's cologne. I don't like calling it a cologne, but it does project a little bit, and it reminds me of Insurrection Pure 2 Wild. Like, this is the better version of Insurrection Pure 2 Wild. Like, this is what Insurrection Pure 2 Wild should have been. Although it's like, I guess Insurrection Pure 2 Wild kind of has its own unique thing going, which is all right for what it is, but this one's decent. So my second impression is I'm a little more impressed because it has this real long dry down period, or base note period that actually kind of transmorphed into something a little more, just a little more palatable. But it's a younger guy's clone. It does make me feel kind of younger wearing it, which is kind of cool. So it's a nice, unique little dumb reach change up from your modern. I mean, this is, if you want a variety cologne, this is going to be a good variety cologne. Like, hey, throw this in your collection for when you're, I'm sick of these mall scent DNAs. I'm sick of these amber DNAs. I'm sick of these freshy DNAs. I'm sick of these aquatic DNAs. Gosh, even my tobacco DNAs are too strong. I need something that's like tobacco-ish but still light and sweet. Boom, you got CK1 Shock. So there you go. That's what it's good for. This isn't going to be like, this definitely isn't going to fill a room. The sillage is not going to be through the roof. Projection's not there, really at all. But it stays close to you, but you're going to smell good. And if somebody brushes up against you, if someone stands right next to you, they're going to smell you. They're going to be like, yeah, you smell good. Or, you smell cool, you smell fresh, or whatever. And there you go. That's what this is good for. Cheap cologne for the price. CK1 does kind of have a lot of like bad ingredients in it that make me sneeze or make me kind of have a headache. So I went through a little bit of a phase there. CK, Calvin Klein colognes, for some reason, they just have all these crazy ingredients that kind of make me feel some type of way. But I got through that, and the dry down was pretty decent, pretty nice. So I'm fairly impressed with this after this, after my first impression, after I spent a night with it, after the dry down. All right, it's been Jay Lee. Appreciate you listening. Peace.